Well, let me first bring on board our technical expert for today. Joining me is Sacchitanand Uttekar of Tradebulls Securities. Well, good morning, Sacchitanand. Friday we saw a good up move coming in after days of weakness. In fact, we did reclaim that 19,600 mark. Do you think, looking at October, would you say that we could make a dash at that 20,000 mark once again this month? Or would you say that, historically October hasn't really been great, so we will remain sideways going forward? What is your outlook for the month per se?
Good morning, Nanita, and thank you for having me on the show. Clearly, if you look at the seasonality effect, then October, the probability is that we may end up in the green. If you look at the data for the last 10 years, I think only in 2018 we saw a negative return. But net, if you look at the data flow, October has always been on the positive side, has been more on the positive side. Even if you look at the current setup, we have been seeing Nifty oscillating lower. On Friday's session, we saw an inside bar formation. A good short covering led, rally did help the Nifty to sustain above that 19,600 mark. But if you look at the last 2 weeks, we saw this particular gap sequence, which started at 20,100 with a breakaway gap. We saw a runaway gap at 19,900, and probably, there was a room for an exhaustion gap to, conclude the termination of this particular corrective wave that we have been seeing so far. So I think today's opening is indicating that probably we may see that exhaustion gap in today's trading session. And critical is that after this good strong rally from the base of 19,200 towards 20,200, we saw that fresh impulse getting unlocked in the first half of the September series, and post that the corrective has been really gradual. We are sitting at a very strong demand zone. So we don't expect the Nifty, to scale lower below that 19,200 on a broader structure. But immediate basis, I think 19,500, 540 is a good strong demand zone wherein the Nifty could see a reversal getting established. And probably on the way up, it does have a hurdle at around 19,700, 720 kind of a zone, which could be a critical resistance even for today's trading session. But net, I think we are at the fag end of this particular termination, and probably we may see a strong reversal sign getting developed here. So the strategy is to avoid, short positions here. In case if we have a strong gap down, I think that particular gap down would be a good opportunity to create some long positions. And again, we may see, Nifty resuming its positive trend, the bullish trend during this particular week itself. There's a minor hurdle at 19,700, 740. But eventually for this particular series, we do expect that the Nifty could scale back to 20,000 levels.
All right. Sacchitanand, what are you recommending for our viewers this morning?
Well, three stocks all on the long side. We are expecting that the market could, see that final exhaustion gap, and we may see, prices stabilizing during this particular week. So Bajaj Finance is one particular stock that displayed a very strong breakout on its monthly scale. Now, if you look at the broader structure for the last 2 years, the stock was oscillating within this range of 7,600 on the higher side and 5,300 on the lower side. Now, this is the first time wherein on a monthly basis, the stock has managed to close above that 7,600 mark. If you look at the weekly structure, there's a clear-cut a bullish flag formation, indicating a price move towards 8,100. So from a trading perspective, we are recommending long positions here. The stop loss can be placed at around 76.40, and the stock can be accumulated in one's trading portfolio. The other stock which has seen some positive action after a corrective wave is Indian Hotels. If you look at the weekly price structure, there's a rising 3 formation on its weekly scale. The base looks strong at around 400, 405. We have already seen a short covering move last week. We're expecting that this particular move may continue during this particular week, and we may see this particular stock rising towards 430. So even here we are recommending building long positions with a stop loss at 402. And the last final trade is on the cement pack, and within this particular pack we are liking the structure of Dalmia Bharat. We are expecting a price move towards 2580, and hence long positions can be recommended here, keeping a stop loss somewhere close to around 2330.
All right, those are the stock recommendations coming in this morning. Remember, Bajaj Finance, of course, will be in focus as the board will be meeting on the 5th of October to consider capital raise as well. But with that, Sacchitanand, thanks a lot for taking out time and joining in this morning and sharing your thoughts with us and, of course, answering all our viewer queries so patiently.